Chapter 12, Veins of Metal. The mass in the cathedral chamber never moved again, not visibly, not in a way the eye could swear to, but every soldier, every prisoner, every breathing body in that chamber felt it, a weight in the chest, a pressure behind the eyes. Stone gave it no more than a glance before turning toward another archway yawning in the far wall. He moved without hesitation, as though the shard tugged him forward. Ace lingered a heartbeat longer, staring at the shimmer across the thing's surface. He swore he could hear it. Something not sound, not motion, just the suggestion of a sigh. Mac nudged him sharply, and the two followed, dragging the stragglers in their wake. The new corridor was narrower still, and alive, not metaphor. Alive. The walls were layered with pipes and veins, not rigid but faintly shifting as though fluid moved within. A sound like circulation hummed through them, a slow pump, irregular and vast. Ace could taste metal in his mouth. The prisoners recoiled from it. One man refused to enter at all, shouting hoarsely that he'd rather face the dark behind them than walk through a throat of steel. He bolted back toward the cathedral chamber. Stone didn't stop him. He didn't even look. Ace glanced back once, saw the man vanish between the towers of machinery. The whispers swelled briefly, sharp with urgency, then settled again. The man did not return. They pressed on. The corridor bent sharply downward, steps sinking into the earth. The air grew damp, metallic, thick enough to cling in the throat. Lamps caught condensation beating across the walls, droplets sliding over the faintly shifting pipes. Mac muttered, "Feels like we're walking deeper into something's gut." Ace almost told him to stop talking, but Mac's voice was the only human sound cutting through the whispers, and Ace wasn't sure he could survive in silence. The stairs ended in a chamber that was nothing like the ones before. Here the machinery clustered tightly, choking the space. Towers and spines rose from the floor and ceiling, interwoven with coils that flexed faintly, like muscle under skin. The glow of veins was brighter here, pulsing in restless rhythm. Prisoners whimpered openly. One woman pressed her forehead against the wall and whispered something over and over, words lost beneath the hum. Ace scanned the chamber with his rifle. Every coil, every cable, every shape looked ready to stir. His finger trembled against the trigger. The whispers screamed inside his skull now, no longer tides, but a storm, pulling him down, filling him with intent he couldn't name. Stone strode through the chamber as though it were a training ground, shard held high. The veins flared brighter when he passed, like they knew him. On the far side, another passage opened. This one sloped upward, its walls smoother, curving until they seemed to meet in a vaulted point overhead. The air grew colder with each step, their breaths misting inside helmets. The prisoners dragged their feet, some muttering, some silent, eyes vacant. They looked less like men and women and more like shadows carried along. Mac slowed beside Ace. His usual crooked grin was gone, his face pale. "Rookie, you're hearing them worse, aren't you?" Ace swallowed hard. "It's constant." "Anything useful?" Ace shook his head. "Just pressure. Like they're trying to push something into me, or pull something out." Mac's jaw tightened. For once, he had no joke. The passage ended indoors. Not like the first vault door, not folds and seams. These were slabs, massive, ribbed with light. They throbbed faintly, the glow bleeding through cracks like fire through shutters. Stone approached without hesitation. He placed the shard against the surface. The doors shuddered. The prisoners broke into cries, pleading, protesting, praying. One man lunged, grabbing Stone's arm. "Don't open it, please don't!" Stone moved with brutal speed. He shoved the man back, not hard enough to kill, but enough to silence him. The shard pressed deeper into the metal. The glow spread, veins along the doors pulsing like arteries. The slabs groaned, not grinding, not mechanical, but a sound like breath forced through lungs. Ace's chest tightened, his rifle trembled in his grip. Stone! The doors peeled open, not wide, just enough for a rush of cold air to pour through, colder than any cave wind, sharp enough to sting the throat. And with it came a sound. Low, vast, resonant, not machinery, not wind, a breath. Every light in the chamber pulsed in unison. The pipes in the walls flexed as though in sympathy. The prisoners collapsed, keening, hands over their ears. Max stumbled back, swearing. Ace froze, the whispers screaming so loud he couldn't tell if he was still himself at all. Stone stood firm, visor gleaming in the sickly light. He lowered the shard, and his voice was calm, steady, almost reverent. It's waking. The doors stopped moving. A gap yawned before them, wide enough to pass through, lit by veins that pulsed like a heartbeat. The breath still echoed faintly, deep in the dark beyond. The squad and their shattered survivors stood trembling at its threshold. Behind them, the vault's hum deepened. Ahead of them, something vast waited in the dark. Ace tightened his grip on his rifle, every instinct screaming to run. But there was nowhere left to go.
That is the end for this one. Make sure you come back for more, and like and subscribe. See you soon.